What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to my channel. It is so good to see you again. If you are new here, welcome. I am Mia with the Glam Corridor, and my channel focuses on everything fashion, style, and beauty. For today's video, I just wanted to do a quick recap of my trip to New York City with Macy's. So if you're interested in that, please stick around, but make sure you are subscribed to my channel first, and we'll get into the video. Okay, so as I mentioned, this is going to be a quick recap of my brand trip with Macy's to New York City for the annual flower show. So this is my second brand trip and my second brand trip with Macy's. So it was so much fun, and shout out to Macy's Style Crew first off for just making me, I can't speak for everybody else, but I felt really special. I felt like a celebrity just because of all the treatment that we got, the accommodations, all of the gifts, and just an overall well put together trip. And it was very special and something that I will remember for a lifetime. So as I said, the trip was hosted by Macy's Style Crew. Macy's Style Crew is basically a group of content creators that partner with Macy's. So as of this video, the trip happened about a week and a half ago. Sorry that I'm a little late, but I had to get myself together and there was a lot of other things going on. So I was like, let me just go ahead and put out this video before time continues to get ahead of me. So the first day, my husband and I went together. I was able to bring a +1, so my husband came with me. And the first day, that was our one free day on the trip. So my husband and I just explored. We love to explore and just do different things. So we went to different restaurants and shop, etc., etc. So the following day is when all the events started. First day is when Macy's Flower Show officially kicked off. So here is the outside, the very first iteration of the events. We were able to take pictures outside, and this is when we were able to officially see all the other creators. And my first brand trip with Macy's was for their 4th of July show, and I wasn't able to connect with other creators then just because of it was kind of more like you just do your own thing and then you come to the 4th of July show. So this particular trip was specifically about connecting with other content creators as well as all the other events that were going on. So this was a really special trip for me because I've been wanting to connect with other content creators for some time now. And the majority of the content creators that were on the trip, we follow each other, but we haven't officially met in person. So just being able to connect with them and just have fun with them on the trip was really special. And shout out to everybody. Everybody was so sweet. That everybody that was on the trip was really, really sweet. So shout out to everybody that was there. So as I was saying, this was outside of Macy's Herald Square, taking pictures. This was with Holland America. They had the vintage bikes with the baskets on the bikes and all the different beautiful flowers in the bikes and all of that. It was so many photographers and videographers out there, and of course people were kind of gathered around trying to see what was going on. So once we got finished with that, we were able to actually go inside of the store. Y'all, I don't know if y'all have ever been in Macy's Herald Square, which is New York City in Manhattan. Like, I'm not gonna lie to y'all, I got overwhelmed. Like, that store is, first of all, gorgeous and spotless as far as the cleanliness. It's just so much to see, and I got overwhelmed. Like, it was just a lot to see. But we got in there, as you can see, it's so, like the floral installations, gorgeous. Like throughout the entire store, it's just all different types of flowers, the arrangements, the designs. It was beautiful. And the one standout floor installation for me was YSL. This white wall of floral installations, I'm not really keen or like abreast of like different flowers and stuff, but this right here was absolutely beautiful. And I don't know if you've ever been there, but YSL, that counter has like a hallway where they have activations of all the different scents that spray out, and you can walk through the hallway and smell all the different scents. And they were promoting a new scent that we actually got, and it smells amazing. But just like that whole experience was like something that really stood out to me. Just the setup of YSL's counter at Macy's Herald Square is absolutely beautiful, and just how they had everything set up for the Macy's flower show in particular was absolutely gorgeous. So we're going through taking pictures and looking at the store, through everything. And like I said, it's just so much to see. So we were able to kind of chill out in a particular area of the store after we were able to do everything. And then once we got finished taking pictures and all of that, we were able to have brunch at the restaurant that's in Macy's Herald Square. I believe it's like on the 3rd or 4th floor, and it's called Stella 34 Trattoria. I believe I'm pronouncing that right. But they had amazing food. They had other content creators there other than Macy's Style Crew, which was a lot of fun. Then we were able to go on a shopping spree and just kind of like have fun throughout the store. But like I said, at a certain point, I got a little overwhelmed because it was a lot going on, and I was just like, okay, I need to take a little break. But overall, amazing time. Oh, and I forgot to mention the outfit that I wore for this particular event, I got from Macy's, Donna Karen. And I don't know if y'all know, but I love wearing trench coats in particular as an outfit or as a dress. So the trench coat was the outfit. And I just put this huge belt over it that I've had for over 10 years now from Coat Gaia. And literally, I've been wanting to wear this belt for so long now. And then when I saw this coat, because I was trying to get my outfits together, before the trip, I was like, I want to wear a coat for the flower show in particular. I don't know why I had a trench coat in my mind, because I'm like, I don't know what the weather's going to be like, because I was planning my outfits out like a month in advance. But I was like, whether it's hot or not, I'm wearing this trench coat and it's just going to work. So got the trench coat. And then once I got the trench coat, I remembered the belt. I told y'all the Lord will let me know of different things that I already have. If I happen to buy anything new, he would show me something that I already have in my wardrobe. And he was like, pull that belt out. And it went perfectly with the outfit. So this is on my Macy's storefront if y'all are interested. And you can style this trench coat so many different ways. As is, like I said, wearing it as an outfit, wearing it without a belt, having it open with another outfit, whatever. But this trench coat is beautiful. And the one thing that stood out to me was the double collar. And then it has gold accents, like a gold belt buckle. And then the zipper detail is gold. I know I'm going off on a tangent, but I had to let y'all know about that trench coat. Okay, so that same day, just the evening time, was when we had our cooking class that was also held at Macy's Herald Square. And one thing that I did not know, that a lot of people apparently don't know, is that they have a cooking class in a cooking school in Macy's Herald Square. So that's where the event was held, and it was hosted by Rails Homemade, which is a brand that makes different types of marinaras and different types of Italian sauces that are sold in store, if y'all aren't familiar. And a huge shout out to all of the chefs that hosted us. Amazing hospitality, and they just kind of helped us and guided us through the cooking class. And this is some footage from the cooking class, and this is the outfit that I wore. And again, as I was picking my outfits for all the different events for the trip, they would give us like a theme board to kind of go off of or to go by for each event. And then when I saw that we were having a cooking class and the type of food that we would be cooking, I just thought red. So I got this particular outfit from Zara, and it's a 2-piece set. It's, as you can see, a maxi skirt and then like a bralette type of shirt, and then I just put the little crop jacket over it. But I just felt like this would be a really cute outfit to wear for the theme with red, an Italian type of food. And so it was funny because the majority of all the other creators wore red. So it was just like everybody was just in unison with what to wear. So I thought that was interesting. But the class overall was an amazing experience. We got broken up into groups, and we would make one dish and then the other group would make another dish. So we ended up making chicken parmesan, and we had gnocchi, And for the dessert, we had tiramisu. We didn't make the tiramisu, but we made everything else. And it was amazing, amazing conversations with all the other content creators, and just a wonderful overall experience. And so the next day, and I forgot to mention the trip was a 2-day event, a 2-day trip. The next day was a brunch in Central Park, and it was absolutely amazing. First off, all the creators were dressed by a brand called Avec les Filles, which is a brand that's sold in Macy's, and we kind of got to choose from a catalog, basically a catalog of what we could pick and choose from this particular brand that dressed us. And I chose this set here, this yellow set. I love brighter colors and I love sets, as y'all know. So I chose this, and then y'all know I have to add my accessories to the look. I can't leave it plain. That's just not me. I have to give it some pizzazz, put my own pizzazz on the look. So I just added gold accessories. I love gold. I added the gold chain belt, and I just had gold flats because I knew we were going to be doing a lot of walking. I was like, as much as I love heels, I was like, I need to be realistic. We're going to be walking through Central Park. Let's use our brain, Mia. We're not going to do the heels this time. We need to wear a flat. So I just wore some flats that I had from Zara for years to kind of go along with all the other gold accessories. But y'all, the brunch in Central Park was just, as you can see, like the setup, the long table, the setup, the food was amazing. I forgot the name of the caterer, but that food and the setup, amazing. Like everything was perfect. Like the pictures are beautiful, but just like being there, like the weather was nice. It was a little hot, but like it was just amazing just being able to sit there, and like people that were walking through the park were like staring, taking pictures, wondering what we were doing. It was just amazing. And like I said, just communicating and connecting with other creators, the food, because I love to eat and I love a good brunch. So the food was, again, on point. And just being dressed by a brand for the occasion, like I felt like a celebrity, like seriously. It was just overall another amazing experience, just taking all the different photos that we took. And we were walking through the park, and a photographer stopped us. She was like, "Can I please take pictures of you all? You all look so lovely." And this was one of the pictures that she took. And it was just an overall wonderful experience. And then Holland America was here also, and they brought the bikes back. So we were able to ride through the park on the bikes and take pictures. It was just so much fun. And like I said, this was like really like my favorite part of the trip. It was a lot of fun. And then the last part of the trip, same day, but evening again, we would do 2 events per day. Like I said, it was a 2-day trip. So the last part of the event, that same day in the evening, we had a panel with The Cut, very informative, very inspiring by 2. One was an actual content creator, and the other one was a creative director. I forgot the brand that she was with, but it was a very good and informative panel. Again, there were a lot of other content creators there, not just with Macy's Style Crew, but there were other content creators that were there. So just kind of mingling and connecting with them amongst like food and stuff like that. I'm always about food, like what type of food is going to be at the occasion. So again, taking pictures, having fun with all the other content creators. So much fun. So just overall, the trip was just an absolutely great experience and occasion, like I said, to meet other creators, just like-minded people, and just having conversations and just connecting with people that I've been following, and officially meeting them in person and seeing their personalities and just how sweet everybody is, and just having these experiences, y'all. Like literally, I'm experiencing and living things that I prayed for. And I just want to quickly give y'all my testimony as far as how I became a content creator. So I've always wanted to have a career in well, I've always loved fashion and beauty, more so fashion. I've just always been drawn to fashion and style, just like the history of it. I've just always been intrigued by it. So I've known since I was a little girl that I wanted to have a career in fashion, but I just didn't know in what capacity. And as I got older and as I was about to graduate from high school, I'm like, my options are kind of limited. You know, I live in North Carolina, so realistically, my options would be in retail and I could work my way up into like management or whatever. So that's what I did. I hated it more so because of the retail schedule, because it's not consistent and it's mandatory that you work on weekends. And I was missing out on a lot. My daughter was born at that time that I was working heavily in retail. So I was like, this is an absolute no. So I stopped doing that. And as Instagram and all the different social media platforms became popular, I created my page, The Glam Corridor, but I wasn't posting to it regularly. I would post my outfits on there here and there whenever I thought about it. Like I said, not consistent at all. So fast forward to the pandemic, everybody's in the house. We're uncertain about what's happening and what's really going on. We didn't really fully know what to expect, and it was like unknown at that point. But people were like heavily like putting out content, and that's like when really content creation became a thing. So as I said, I was kind of uncertain. And at that point, I had been a stay-at-home mom for over 10 years. And I started getting like this itch again, like, okay, I need to like really get into fashion as a career. But still the same thought of I'm limited because I'm in North Carolina and I would have to move to like New York or LA or Miami. And we're not doing that. So I started praying. I was like, Lord, I was very specific. I was like, I want a career in fashion, but I do not want to go back to retail. I don't want to work a typical 9 to 5, and I want to be able to work from home. So I was like, if this is your will for me and the purpose that you have for me, I know that it will happen. And I'm asking for your wisdom and for discernment. And I left it at that. So I prayed that at the top of the pandemic. So fast forward 2 years later, I'm still like on Instagram, like taking in other people's content, not thinking about if I'm gonna be a content, like that never crossed my mind that I would be a content creator. So one day, 2 years after that, so 2000, it was like kind of like towards the end of 2021 actually. So almost 2 years later, one of my friends that I used to work with, she decided to make a story, just reposting some of the pictures that I posted on my page. Like I said, I was very sporadic about posting. Whenever I thought about it, I would post. So the images that I had been posting, she reshared them on her stories, and she was shouting me out, showing me a lot of love, like my girl Mia is fly, etc., etc. So I DM'd her and I was like, thank you so much for the love and the shout out. I really appreciate it. And she was like, Mia, you need to get serious about creating content. Like you need to make reels and like really put your looks out there because your following will skyrocket. I was like, I don't know anything about creating reels, or the thought of creating content didn't come to my mind, but that's basically what I was saying. But like creating reel, I was like, I don't know anything about how to do that. And she was like, just if you follow any style influencers or content creators, kind of look and see how they do it. Like, of course, I'm not going to copy them, but she was like, just kind of use them as a guide on how to create. And I was like, okay. So I was thinking about it that whole day, and I was just like, I don't know how to do that. Like, nobody's going to take me seriously. Like, nobody wants to see me do that. Like, just thinking all sorts of negative things. The Lord was like, Mia, didn't you pray to me and ask me for wisdom, for my wisdom and for discernment? And you were saying how you didn't want to work a 9 to 5 and you wanted to work in the fashion industry. This is it. I was like, okay. I was like, Lord, if this is what you want me to do, you are going to have to show me how to do it because I have no idea what I'm doing. So I wrote down a plan, wrote the vision, and made it plain. I was like, this is the date I'm going to post. This is what I'm going to post. These are the outfits that I'm going to post on this particular day. These are the accessories. This is the caption for each post. Like, I literally wrote everything down because I knew if I didn't, I wouldn't stick with it. And I still do that to this day. I write everything down that I'm going to do. I have my set days of when I film and create content. And I ask the Lord every single time before I post anything, before I create anything, that He's in it and that He guides me. Because within my career that I chose, I always say, no matter what it is, the Lord is going to be in the center of it, because that's the only way that it's going to work. So I know I'm going off on a tangent, but I felt led to share that. So I officially became a full-time content creator in January 2022. And like I said, I had a schedule, I had goals and a plan and all of that. At that time, when I became a full-time content creator, I had like less than 600 followers on Instagram. April of that same year, one of my reels went viral, and after that is when everything just skyrocketed. My following, brands reaching out, all of that, it just like went up from there. And at that point, like once my reel went viral, a week later, like I said, when I started in January 2022, I had like less than 600 followers. When my reel went viral in April, a week later, I had 10,000 followers. I was not expecting to have 10,000 followers. I wasn't even thinking about that. I was still like in the mindset of like, okay, am I doing this right? Am I creating content right? I wasn't thinking of any of that. And then June of that same year, a management company reached out to me. I'm like, I wasn't thinking about management. God was setting everything up because this is what He had for me. And to my point of sharing this, if you have God in the center of whatever you're doing and you have a true relationship with Him, if you talk to Him about it, have a vision and make it plain, He will lead you and guide you and set everything up accordingly. Because I would have never thought in a million years that I would be a content creator. Because like I said, this wasn't even a thing like 10 years ago when I was like trying to figure out what I wanted to do. So like I didn't like, this wasn't what I had planned, but like I said in the beginning, I did it scared and with the Lord's help. So for anybody that's watching this, if you feel stuck in your current career or whatever it is, talk to the Lord, pray about it, have a vision, write it out, ask Him to lead you and guide you and give you wisdom, thank Him for it in advance, and let Him do the rest. And then when He shows you, move on it. As soon as He shows it to you, if you have to do it scared, do it scared. But when He shows you and when He tells you, you need to move. I just really felt led to share that because, like I said, I was so uncertain before, like during the pandemic. And I was like, at one point, I was just like, it's probably just going to have to be a retail job because I don't know what else. And I just still kept, like I said, I was believing God, but just honestly speaking, I was at certain points, I was just like, this is just going to have to be it. But like I said, just going from deciding, like once He showed me and, deciding to fully commit to becoming a full-time content creator at the beginning of 2022. And then at the end of that year, that same year on Christmas Eve, I hit 100,000 followers on Instagram. Like, cause I wasn't even thinking about that. Cause it wasn't about like the follower count for me. Like I said, I was just doing what He told me to do. And like, this is what you said you wanted a career with X, Y, and Z. This is it. This is the path that I have for you. Like I said, I did it scared initially. And as time progressed and with God leading me through it, the fear has subsided. And, at certain points with certain things, I still get nervous. But just like I said, with the brands that I get to work with, the creators that I've made connections with and relationships with, just everything, just different things that I prayed for specifically and different goals that I've reached. It's just amazing. And I would have never thought that that I would be working in the fashion industry in this capacity. It's just absolutely amazing. And I'm a firm believer in you should love what you do as a career, and you should get paid for what you're gifted at and what you love. Like, you should have fun with your career and your job. I just firmly believe that. So, like I said, I know that's easier said than done, as far as like doing a career shift if you want to or need to, and then shifting your job into something that you really want to do. I know that kind of like you have to put certain parameters in place, but if you really want to do it and that's what the Lord has for you, if He's at the center of it, He'll make it happen. That's my testimony, and I just wanted to share that. I just felt led to share that. And again, I just want to thank each and every one of you for all of the encouragement and all the wonderful and lovely comments y'all leave me on a daily basis, whether it's through here on YouTube or on Pinterest, on Instagram, or anywhere else. I just really appreciate y'all. It's so encouraging to know that I'm inspiring people. And like I said, I just would have never thought that this would be my career path, and it's so amazing. And it's so encouraging, all the love that I get from each and every one of you. So again, thank y'all so much. I can't thank y'all enough. But that is it for today's video. I hope it was inspirational. And I think for my video next week, I'm going to do a haul on my jewelry and accessories. I got quite a few requests on it, so that's what I'll be sharing next week. And y'all let me know in the comments what other hauls or videos or whatever you would like me to share. But, and as of this video, Mother's Day is Sunday. So happy Mother's Day to all of the lovely mothers out there. Y'all make sure you take care of yourself and set apart some time for yourselves, because it is very important that we take care of ourselves. We're always so concerned, and we prioritize other people over us. So just make sure you set apart some time for yourself to regroup and just re-energize. So I will see y'all next week. Bye.